Welcome, and thank you for being here. Let me start with a simple question. How often have you started something? Maybe a new project, a fitness routine, or even a personal development goal, and felt that rush of excitement, only to watch that energy fade away faster than you imagined? Or maybe you found yourself in a pattern of starting and stopping, and you can't seem to keep the momentum going for longer than a few days, weeks, or even hours. We've all been there. And here's the thing. Staying motivated is one of the most common struggles that we face as we work toward our goals. The excitement and enthusiasm you feel at the beginning can be intense. But what happens when that initial spark starts to fade? How do you maintain motivation when things get tough? When the excitement of starting something new wears off, and you're left with the challenge of staying consistent? Well, today I'm going to tell you the secret to staying motivated, something that's not about waiting for a moment of inspiration, but about building a foundation of habits, mindsets, and strategies that will keep you going even when the motivation feels scarce. This secret is not just about short bursts of energy, but about creating sustainable habits and mindsets that will serve you day in and day out. So, if you're tired of starting and stopping, or if you're ready to take your motivation to the next level, stay with me. We're about to dive deep into the true secret of staying motivated, and by the end of this, you'll have a complete toolkit to keep pushing forward, no matter how many obstacles or distractions life throws your way. Let's begin by defining what motivation is and why we lose it in the first place. Chapter 1. What is motivation? To truly understand how to stay motivated, we first need to understand what motivation is and why it's so important. Motivation is the driving force behind everything we do. It's the reason you get out of bed in the morning, the reason you take on challenges, and the reason you push yourself to grow and evolve. But motivation isn't a simple, one-dimensional thing. It's a complex psychological force that involves multiple factors. Let's start by breaking down the two main types of motivation that drive us. Intrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is the kind of motivation that comes from within. It's when you do something because it aligns with your values, passions, or personal interests. For example, when you write because you enjoy the act of writing, or when you run because you love the feeling of being active. Intrinsic motivation is powerful because it's driven by personal satisfaction rather than external rewards. Extrinsic motivation. On the other hand, extrinsic motivation is driven by external factors. This could be money, recognition, praise, or other tangible rewards. Think about a job you might have. If you work hard for a raise or a promotion, that's extrinsic motivation. It's motivated by the outcome or reward that you receive for your efforts. Now, here's the secret. Both types of motivation are necessary. Intrinsic motivation is great because it comes from within and can be long-lasting. But extrinsic motivation is also important because it can give you the external validation or rewards you need to keep going. When combined effectively, these two types of motivation create a powerful, sustainable drive. So, why does motivation fade over time? The simple answer is that motivation isn't constant. It fluctuates. There are days when you wake up feeling unstoppable, and there are days when you struggle to find the energy to do anything, and that's perfectly normal. What matters is how you respond when motivation dips. Let's explore why motivation fades and how you can prepare for it. Chapter 2. Why motivation fades. We've all experienced those moments when motivation seems to vanish. It's like you wake up one day and the drive that pushed you forward the day before is suddenly gone. It's frustrating, especially when you feel like you've put so much effort into building momentum. There are several reasons why motivation fades, and understanding these reasons will give you the tools you need to keep pushing forward. The honeymoon phase. When you start something new, whether it's a fitness routine, a new project, or a hobby, there's often a rush of excitement. This is what I call the honeymoon phase. It's fresh, it's new, and you're pumped up. But as time passes, that excitement fades. The challenge is that the initial rush of motivation is easy to get hooked on. Once it wears off, it feels like the task at hand has become more of a chore than an exciting venture. This is when you start losing your motivation. To counter this, we need to build strategies that can sustain us after the honeymoon phase. We'll dive into this in the next sections, but remember this. Don't rely only on initial excitement. Learn how to fuel motivation from within. Overwhelm and unrealistic expectations. Another reason motivation fades is that we often set ourselves up for failure by creating goals that are too big, too soon. If you set a goal that's too ambitious and you don't see immediate results, it can lead to overwhelm. For example, if you've never run a mile in your life, setting a goal to run a marathon in a month may be too much too soon. That feeling of overwhelm can sap your motivation quickly. Break down your goals into bite-sized, manageable tasks. Focus on small, incremental progress, not giant leaps. Celebrate each small victory along the way. Lack of progress. Progress is one of the most powerful motivators, but when you don't see results, it's easy to feel like all your efforts are in vain. This is why it's crucial to set small, achievable goals along the way. If you don't feel like you're moving forward, it's easy to lose momentum. Track your progress. Keep a journal, use an app, or simply check off small achievements daily. Even tiny wins matter. They add up over time. External distractions. We live in a world full of distractions, from social media notifications to emails to the demands of daily life. It's easy to lose focus and let distractions get in the way of our goals. The constant bombardment of distractions makes it hard to stay focused and motivated. Set boundaries for yourself. Allocate specific time blocks for work, breaks, and fun. Use tools like focus apps or the Pomodoro technique to eliminate distractions and stay in the zone. Fatigue and burnout. Motivation isn't infinite. If you're constantly pushing yourself without taking the time to rest, you'll burn out. Fatigue, whether physical or mental, can drain your motivation quickly. That's why self-care is so important. You have to prioritize rest and recovery in order to maintain long-term motivation. Take regular breaks. Sleep well. Spend time with loved ones. Nourish your body and mind. Your motivation will thrive if you treat yourself well. Chapter 3. Building lasting motivation. Now that we understand why motivation fades, let's talk about how we can build lasting motivation. The secret is not to rely on motivation to be there all the time. Instead, you need to build systems, routines, and strategies that will keep you moving forward even when motivation isn't there. Here's how. Habits, not motivation. Motivation is fickle. It comes and goes. But habits? Habits are powerful. When you build habits around your goals, you don't have to rely on motivation to get things done. Start small. If you want to work out every day, don't commit to an hour right away. Start with 10 minutes. As it becomes a habit, you'll naturally do more. Create a daily routine. A structured daily routine can make all the difference. When you know exactly what you're supposed to do each day, there's no room for procrastination or confusion. Create a morning, midday, and evening routine that focuses on the key areas of your life: work, health, relationships, and personal growth. Use visual reminders. Put reminders in front of you to keep your goals visible, whether it's a vision board, sticky notes with motivational quotes, or an app that tracks your progress. Keeping your goals visible helps maintain focus and motivation. Seeing your goals each day reinforces the drive to accomplish them. Accountability. Accountability can be a game changer. Tell someone about your goals, whether it's a friend, a family member, or an online community. Having someone to check in with or report progress keeps you accountable, and knowing that someone else is invested in your success can fuel your motivation. Self-compassion and patience. It's easy to get frustrated with yourself if things don't go as planned, but remember, growth takes time. Be patient with yourself. Give yourself grace when you slip up or make mistakes. Self-compassion helps you bounce back quickly and keeps your motivation intact in the long run. Chapter 4. Overcoming setbacks and staying resilient. Setbacks are inevitable. We all face challenges on the path to our goals, but what separates those who succeed from those who give up is how they respond to setbacks. Resilience is the ability to bounce back after a failure, to keep moving forward after an obstacle. Here's how you can stay resilient and overcome setbacks. Reframe failures as lessons. Instead of viewing setbacks as failures, try to reframe them as opportunities to learn. When you don't hit your goal, take a step back and ask yourself what you can learn from the situation. What went wrong? What can you do differently next time? This mindset shift turns failures into stepping stones, and it prevents you from getting discouraged. Focus on what you can control. When things don't go as planned, focus on what you can control. You can't change the past, but you can adjust your actions moving forward. By taking control of your response to setbacks, you maintain a sense of agency and motivation. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself when you face setbacks. It's easy to beat yourself up over mistakes, but self-criticism only drains your motivation. Instead, practice self-compassion. Acknowledge the challenge, but don't let it define you. Treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend going through a tough time. So, there you have it. The secret to staying motivated is not about waiting for motivation to strike. It's about building a system of habits, mindsets, and strategies that keep you going even when motivation is low. By understanding why motivation fades, learning how to keep it alive, and building resilience in the face of setbacks, you'll be equipped to tackle any goal you set. Remember, motivation is a skill, not a gift. You can cultivate it, nurture it, and use it to fuel your success. And most importantly, don't give up when things get tough. Stay consistent, trust the process, and keep moving forward. Thanks for listening today. I believe in your ability to stay motivated and reach your goals. Now, take this knowledge and apply it in your life. Keep pushing and you'll see the results. Stay motivated, stay focused, and take action today.